Hi, I'm Dr. Almisha Campbell. This is Innovate Exchange, and we are coming to you live from the University of Kentucky in Lexington. Welcome to Innovate Exchange, where we follow the entrepreneurial and commercialization journey of women in STEM innovation and entrepreneurship. With me today is Isabel Escobar. Isabel, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here talking to you.
Thank you so much. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey here at the University of Kentucky?
Sure. I started here at the university in 2015. I had been 15 years before then at the University of Toledo in Ohio, and one of my mentors was here at the University of Kentucky. And in 2014, they received a large NSF AppScore grant, a Track 1 grant, and they wanted to hire a more senior person who did a certain type of filter called membranes that I work with. And he told me that he felt it was perfect for me. He told me to just come for a visit with an open mind. If I liked it, I liked it. If I didn't like it, to just not use it to get a better deal somewhere else. And I came with an open mind, and I felt that this was a very collaborative campus. And I fell in love with the students. And next thing I knew, I was accepting the offer, and I'm here.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you here at the
you.
University of Kentucky because I get a chance to meet you today and have this conversation. So what inspired you to pursue research in polymeric membrane materials for water treatment and reuse?
So I am originally from Brazil, and growing up when I was a teenager, a ship washed these holes off the Pacific coast of South America, and cholera ended up in the rivers that form the Amazon River. And as a kid living in Rio de Janeiro, they would keep showing us where cholera was in all the tributaries that come from the Amazon, and as how it was spreading through Brazil. And they kept explaining to us on television, what do you need to do to be safe? And it was very simple. You boil water, you put 1 part salt, 2 parts sugar. You just made saline solution, and you're safe, and you're not going to die. Because cholera kills just simply by dehydration. And that just something that simple that can kill so many people and that can prevent it so easily just kind of stayed with me. And then I pursued water treatment for my PhD. And after that, I just started going forward deeper and deeper in the world of membranes and making novel materials, and then obtaining grants that would allow me to even make more new materials and pursue more difficult separations and new challenges. And that's what led me to membranes, to polymeric membranes.
That sounds like an awesome journey here at the University of Kentucky. One of the things I was listening to as you talked is the fact that you had, you dig deeper into the research. And we know that's where innovation occurs, right? I will continue to explore more. So talk to me about some innovation that have occurred during your journey in that research and how you're utilizing that in terms of going towards patenting, copyright, and trademark, anything intellectual property.
Yes, absolutely. So in moving to Kentucky, I had a new startup. I had new grants that came in that allow me to look at new ideas. New ideas that I had and pursue just completely new avenues. And one of them that had been in the back of my mind for a very long time was this idea of making greener materials. So when we make a membrane, and again, a membrane is just an essential filter, we take a polymer or a plastic, we dissolve that in a solvent. Once it's fully dissolved, we spread that over a fabric or a glass. We put that in water, the solvent comes out, and then you're left with the filter. And that's just as simple in the making. Well, the problem is that we're talking about solvents, and solvents are highly hazardous, petroleum derived. A very common one is acetone. And we don't want that in the water. And The European Commission, yes, thank you. They kept saying for years that they were in 2020 going to ban the use of several petroleum-derived hazardous solvents and put other ones in lists that could lead to fines in those that use them, because those solvents are in the water once the process is done. And taking them out of the water can be an incredibly expensive process. And many companies would just say, well, we'll pay the fine and we'll let the city deal with it in the wastewater. So it was a significant problem. And I started looking at bio-derived solvents, green solvents, eco-friendly solvents, and making a membrane out of those. Now the goal was not, for that specific, was not making this crazy novel new material, but making one that performed at the same level as what is on the market now. Just using something that's non-toxic, eco-friendly. And we were able to make the membranes. And with a collaborator of mine from Georgia Tech, we're now showing that they're scalable as well. And in that scaling up, we're now pursuing patents on this and on how we scale them up and how we make them, and everything to do with this new, significantly more eco-friendly process.
That is amazing. And when you look at collaboration, how have you also looked at industry collaboration as part of your journey?
So we collaborate with industry as well. Several industrial partners, what they tell us is, we want you to take our polymer, so they'll give me powder or pellets, and make a filter using your systems out of them. And they want to first they want to see if it's possible and if it would work with their material. Then beyond that point, they're willing to start funding our work and partnering with us. And I have a National Science Foundation, PFI, partners for innovation. Yes, Partners for Innovation grant, and they were fully on board. They said, we absolutely want to be there because we want to be at the forefront. While in the United States, the use of solvents are still not banned, they know that it's coming. And they know that their clients are all over the world, so they want to be at the forefront of making things in this eco-friendly manner.
I'm glad you mentioned PFI, because that's something that in the tech transfer space we push for our faculty and encourage them to go after these PFIs, because they are funding that helps support them as they go along their journey. What are some things that you will tell other researchers who want to apply for PFI and what you've learned, based on what you've learned in that process?
Yeah, one, it's a program that I love. The program directors are absolutely amazing. They are very forward-looking, and they want to do everything that they can in order to help the students that are participating become innovators and entrepreneurs. So I love that program. I started out with regular NSF grants, then I did the I-Corps, which that's intense. It's intense. For those few days that you are calling and making the phone calls and talking to people, it's pretty intense. And I did it twice. The first time I was deer in the headlights, like, oh my gosh.
So hold back a little bit. You did the Kentucky version, and then did you do nationals?
No, I did twice the national.
Twice national. Why did you decide to do nationals twice? Knowing that the ICO program is a rigorous program, you're in a cohort system, you have to have a team. What encouraged you to do that? So
the first time, it was really, I had no idea, really. And I thought that I had this great product, and I had just moved here to Kentucky, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And as we were going for it, essentially what we learned was that there was really no strong future for that product.
So you had a no-go decision.
It was a no-go.
Okay.
Or it was a big no-go for that one. And then when I started the green solvent, eco-friendly solvent work, I applied for the I-Corps again, because I again thought there's a future here. We got to pursue a little bit more. And then COVID hit. I received the grant, made all the plans and all of that, got into a cohort, and COVID hit. So I think we were the first cohort that did it fully virtually. But I came in with the knowledge from the first one. So I had lists and lists of people we were going to call. So when they would say, get out and make your phone calls, we were on that. We would come back with always a couple more. We're like, yeah, this part we got, but it was a lot of sitting because we were fully virtual. And then for that one, it was a let's go for PFI. And we got the partners, and we really just started pursuing, and that's when one of the partners is my collaborator at Georgia Tech. And so I'm a chemical engineer, I work on the material. She's a mechanical engineer, and she works on scaling up of materials. So it's a perfect fit. Yeah. And now we are pursuing patents from the work.
Wow. I love this journey because, so long, I've been in ICOR since 2015, PI, principal investigator for the ICOR side at Jackson State, and now a part of ICOR Hub. It's the same one with University of Kentucky, led by Vanderbilt University. So I know what your journey is, going from an entrepreneur lead now into leading those programs and training. But having gotten the PFI, what's next for you? Because I know the next, we usually tell researchers, hey, there's SBI and STR. Are you considering that as a next step for your technology?
We have the PFI grant for another year.
Okay.
So it's a lot based on the student. He is still deciding what he wants, and we're pursuing the patents. And really, we are leaving everything open. We might go for an STTR. That might be an easier way in with a little bit more help from us, from the faculty, but not quite sure yet.
Well, you have enough time to think about it as you continue working, but can you share some insights with the potential impact of your research on a global water scarcity and pollution? Because I live in Mississippi, and we know the water crisis that we have in Jackson, which is where our university is located. So how do you think this, not only in the nation, but globally, what type of impact you think this would have?
So the green solvent is just a small piece of my work. A lot of my work focuses on difficult separations. So we'll take a compound, something toxic, something that must not be in the water, and we will create a material that can address that. So I have done a lot of work with removal of algal toxins from water. And not only removing, using the filters, but also making a new filter that can simultaneously remove and destroy the material. Now we're doing a lot of work on another National Science Foundation grant that I have, a regular unsolicited grant on removing and destroying the perfluorinated compounds, the PFASs that are now the forever compounds that are just highly toxic. And so really my work is give me a difficult separation and we will make a material for it. A lot can stay right, can stop at that point. I can make a material and then the material is amazingly expensive and it cannot be used, and I get 3, 4, 5 publications out of it in great journals, and everybody in my world goes, yay! And it just stops there. But I like it to take the next step. How can we make this in a way that can potentially be cost effective, and that we can look at the scaling, the scale up abilities of it, so that this can actually be used, so that there's actually real potential to help. From coming from Brazil, where there were growing up significant water issues, just this idea of water and water quality is very important to me. And I want to do everything that I can in a way that my work can be utilized.
Yeah, I love that, because you're looking at the impact, right? More so than just finishing, like you said, publications and you're finished with that. It's, you have it on your dossier, but now what is the impact for our community? What's the impact globally? When you look at the United Nations goals, water security is one of those things that we want to make sure that every citizen have. So what is the most challenging aspect of leading interdisciplinary teams in environmental engineering research?
I love working with people who speak very different languages than I do. So I have worked with these multifaceted teams of people that are coming from very different fields. And the first challenge is learning the language. When this collaborator of mine from Georgia Tech, she first told me, can you send me a little bit of your materials for us to scale up? And I said, sure. How much do you need? 100 milliliters? And she said, I was thinking more of a couple of gallons. And I nearly passed out because, you know, for us to make that 100 ml, it would take so much. And for her, it would mean almost nothing. So it's learning each other's language. And I would say that the most challenging part is just being able to look at somebody and say, I'm not an expert in your field. So I'm just going to shut up and listen to you so that you can explain to me what is important in your field and what is the language in your field. So that now we're speaking the same language, and then we can move forward.
I love that you did the language piece, because in the journey that I started with NOH, a program that, you know, University of Kentucky helped support, we were doing, how do we get HBCUs, historically black college and university faculty and students engaged in innovation and entrepreneurship. And we realized during the training that language was a barrier. When we're using acronyms, which, you know, our federal agencies use that a lot, and they keep changing, and we know that those are barriers for people engaging in innovation and entrepreneurship. But I love the fact that you said to step back a little bit and listen, because we don't always know everything. Even in my field of tech transfer and innovation, I don't know everything. I know certain things. So I have people I can call upon in different universities who have more experience than I do. And we are such a close-knit community that we share with each other. So I'm glad that you're learning that through your process. But are there any other lessons that you've learned along the way that you would want to share with others in the field, particularly women?
Yes, and a lot of my collaborators are women. And I love working with people that I like. A lot of people have told me over the years, oh, you should work with this person and that person because they're great at this and that. And I talk to that person and it just feels like this would be a horrible collaboration. It would not be any fun. And I like to collaborate with people that I enjoy talking to. And so a lot of my collaborators are women, and we just enjoy being around each other. And we talk about life and we talk about everything. And so it becomes a collaboration and a friendship. And I think that that's really important because we enjoy the work that we're doing and we enjoy each other's companies.
Thank you so much for being transparent with that, because no one wants to work where it feels like work.
Yes.
Like, you want it to be fun. And so being around people that you love and you have this great relationship with is so good, especially the communication is essential. So thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for all that you do, and we look forward to following your work as you continue making an impact in water security as well as water safety. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And this was another edition of Innovate Exchange. Thank you.
At Jackson State University, we're not just focused on today. Our students are building tomorrow. The JSU Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is redefining education, a vanguard of technological innovation. This is what the future looks like. This is what tomorrow holds. Learn and teach, research, build, and grow. Jackson State University. Become who you're meant to be.